These are the steps to follow for a successful solar project and installation. Remember that for every successful solar installation, there are steps that you are supposed to follow. There are steps that you need to follow from client discovery to the final step. Now, one of the major steps, the first step is client discovery and assessment. Remember, let's say you posted one of your pictures, one of your the job that you have done, you posted it on your status, maybe on your WhatsApp group or on Facebook, or you run an ads. Then there is a customer or customer just approach you that, okay, Mr. So, please, I need this kind of system for my load. I need this kind of inverter solar system for my load. I want to install solar system for my house or for my shop or for my office. This is what client discovery means. That is, you discover the client. You discover the client. Maybe you post on your Facebook and someone approach you that he needs solar system for his building or for his office. This is client discovery, and that's the first step for every successful solar project. Now, when you discover the client, the next thing to do is to carry out assessment. Remember, I've seen a lot of people whereby when a client asks them that they need 6 kVA inverter system or they need 5 kVA inverter system, because some people always heard maybe from their friends or from their family, whereby maybe that one is using a 5 kVA inverter, and they will ask, what kind of system are you using? What is the size of inverter? Okay, the size of the inverter I'm using is 5 kVA. So when they want to approach an engineer or installer or a company, what they will tell the person is, how much can I spend for a 5 kVA solar system? But for an experienced installer or for a company, an established company, they don't just jump to the amount of the 5 kVA inverter. They first ask the client, what are the things you want to power? What are the things you want to power? What are the things you want to use the system for? So for them to understand the client's need. So the first thing is to understand, when you discover your client, you go for assessment. That's the first thing. And during our assessment, you must understand your client. You must understand the client's needs. Okay, what are the things during your assessment? You must understand that, okay, what are the things you want to power with the solar system? What are the things you want to use the solar system for? Are you planning to use it during the day? Are you planning to use it at night? Or are you planning to use it for the whole day? What is the backup time you are looking for? That is, the backup time means the kind of you want to plan the kind of the battery capacity that the client can use. So you ask them, what is the backup time that you are looking for? Are you looking for a 24 hours backup time? Are you looking for just 12 hours backup time? Like, for example, now, if you want to install a solar system for someone that want to use this for an office, maybe they open 8 a.m. in the morning and they close maybe 7 p.m. in the evening. Such solar system, you don't need much battery, because they are using it during the day. They just need enough for solar panel to power their loads. So they don't need a bigger solar panel, a bigger battery capacity. So these are the things you must understand during your assessment. So you ask them, what are the things they want to use it to power? Okay, I want to power my fan, I want to power my AC, I want to power my freezer. So you ask them. So after asking them during your assessment, that's when you must ask where you can place, that is, the place you can install the system. That is, the room or the location where you will install the system. And during your system, that's when you are going to check, is the room conducive for the system? Is the room, what is the distance from the room to their distribution board? What is the distance from the room to all their loads? And they don't have a separate generator house or inverter house outside the building that you can install your inverter. So these are the things you must check during your assessment. That is when you are going to determine, you check, okay, in this kind of building, what are the things that can cause hazard during installation, or what are the things that can cause hazard to your inverter system. You check. If the roof is leaking around that place, you check, okay, this is the place you said that we should mount this inverter, this room is leaking. Or you ask them, is the room leaking? So that when you leave or when you left the place, rain will not fall and damage your equipment. So all these things, they are things you must check during your assessment. During your assessment, that is when you are going to determine the length of cable. You must check the roof you want to put the solar panel. You check the roof you want to put the solar panel, if the roof will be able to carry the weight of the solar panel. Because if the roof cannot carry the weight of the solar panel, there is high probability that when you install the system, it will damage their roof. It will damage their roof. So you check during assessment. Also, during assessment, you check for shading. You check for shading. What is shading? Shading is when maybe trees or what's it called? Another tall building will be covering your solar panel. Will be covering your solar panel after you install it. Let's say your client's building is like this, and there is another building beside your client's building which is tall like this, and there is another building which is tall like this as well, and there is another building in front of your client which is tall like this. So there is high probability if you installed solar panel to this building here, there is high probability that this building will be covering the solar panel. Also, this building will be covering the solar panel. Likewise, the building at the front as well will be covering the solar panel. So you have to check for shading. Will there be shading when you install your solar system? So during the assessment, that is when you are going to determine, you are going to check, okay, will this be conducive for the solar panel? If there will be a need to put the solar panel as a car park, you are going to check. So once you check, once you know that, that is when you are going to, it will now lead you to the second step to a successful solar project. That's what, after you carry out your assessment. Assessment is the first thing, is the first step. But many people don't carry out the assessment. When a client just approach them, someone approach them, they will just tell them, the client asks, okay, I need a 5 kVA inverter system, how much? The person just say 2 million, or 3 million, or 5 million, or 6 million. So, and this always leads to failure. It always leads to failure. Because when you have already tell your client that the system will cost him or her 5 million naira, you already told her that the system will cost 5 million. And during your installation, you now notice that, okay, when you want to put the inverter, the distance to the distribution board is far, or there is more than the cable that you think. Maybe you think that the cable will cost, you will use 10 or 20 meters, and you now discover that when you want to install, you are using 30 meters. So this will cause disagreement because you won't be able to ask for another money. But if you have already carried out your assessment, you have checked everything, you have seen everything, see this risk at hand, see the risk that you can face, see the challenges that you can fix during the installation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. This will lead us to steps 2 of a successful solar project.